orders out there on the Bookmap. I want to show that to you. But before I do that, I want to show you what I see here. So you could see how the stock on this day, the 24th of October, it ran from $47 to $70. That was a huge run. And then it kind of consolidated here for like 3-4 days. Now, what we like to see when we want to do a swing trade, we like to see a consolidation and see a consistency with the candlesticks where it's closing more greens than reds. And that's exactly what happened here. Now we have a breakout. Now today, the stock started from 66. It hit almost it's at $80 a share. And it's been pushing really nicely again. Now, I want to bring the Bookmap platform because I want to show you something that was really unique about this stock. Now, if you notice right here, let me zoom out a little bit. So this is all pre-market over here on the left, where it's really dark, and then 9:30 kicked in, and the stock was hovering right around $69. And there was an order right here in red. I don't know if you see where that red dot is right there. I like to use the dots because, you know, that's basically, some people use different ones, and you could customize them, make them bigger, smaller. You could set the defaults on, you know, how to, if you want a lot of dots where it's showing you every transaction, or, you know, very little with bigger transactions. And obviously with the bigger ball, bigger transaction, there's a little red line right there, and that's when the stock kind of hit a support levels. But that's not what I want to focus on. It's this right here. See that big red line right there? Now, there was a trader that showed up and was obviously bidding it up. And then you could see he canceled his order, and then he bid it up here. And then he canceled and he bid up here. And you could see when that order showed up, that's when the stock really took off. And you could see it started trending up a little bit. And then it tested this other seller up here around $78. Now, if you use your mouse, you could zoom out, and I could bring this over. And when you look at it, it wasn't a lot of shares. It was only about 4,700 shares, 4,800. This one is 200,000. Big order. So big difference from, you know, from that order to this order. So what he was doing, he was scaling up, and the stock took these two sellers out, maybe three, looks like three orders, and then he upticked again. So he pulled his order here at 70. Now he's over here at 74. So the stock is trading at the highs. We are right now in the middle of the day. It's 2 o'clock. Usually program trading kicks in around 2:30. So he's probably hovering there for a little while, and you can see it's been hovering there after about 10:30. Stock hasn't really gone anywhere. So one of the things you want to kind of do when you're trading is what's nice about the Bookmap is that you see all the orders out there. That's number one. Okay. And number two, by seeing all those orders out there, you could see where the, you know, if that buyer is still buying it. Now, what you'll see in some other trades, you'll see orders out there, they'll pull an order, they'll place an order, but that obviously, just to let you know, is a real order. Now, I just came back from the Orlando Money Show, and I did a whole presentation about what I like to call Bookmap level 4. And the reason why I call it level 4, you got level 1 quotes, level 2 quotes, then you got NASDAQ Book Viewer. I call that level 3, and this is level 4. So this is like the highest level of the data you're going to get. And what made this stock so, you know, what people saw in Orlando is they were so overwhelmed how great the technology is that you can now see future orders out there. But this one is a great example of, you know, where the orders are. Now, there's one problem with this stock though, okay? And the big problem is this. This is level 2 quotes. Now, as a trader, one of the big things that we teach you is that you only want to trade what is within your capability and mentally to get in and out of a stock. Now, if you look at the bid, it says 77.90. If you look at the ask, it says 79. You're talking almost $1 spread. So if you went out there and bought this stock at market, that's where you're going to get it. And if you're wrong, you could, you know, a dollar spread, and if you did 1,000 shares, you're playing with $1,000 spread here. That's a lot of money, okay? So the spread's very, very big. So even though we have a nice setup in Bookmap, doesn't mean you could trade the stock because it's probably out of your wheelhouse as in risk factor, okay? Because now look at it. Now it's down to 77. So if you're on the wrong side and you hit the button at market, now you're going to lose $2. A lot of money right there. So there are a lot of stocks out there that are moving that do qualify, but I just want to kind of show you, of what we call a ladder up, which is this what we call laddering. This is called ladder. When a guy cancels and keeps bidding it up, that's a ladder up right there with strength. Now, stock's at 77. This guy's down to 74. I mean, you got a long way to go, okay? But what I'd like to show you is how we actually find these stocks and then checking it out and seeing what the orders are doing. So the one place that we always like to look is we work off the big percentage gainers and losers. And here's the stock that's the biggest percentage gainer, INTS. It's up about 300%. You can see we'll get no quotes right now because the stock got halted. It's, let me see, what time is it? 4:09. This got halted 3 minutes ago. It's going to open up in 2 minutes. Usually it's a 5-minute halt or a 10-minute halt. Now this got halted on the way down, so it's going to open up lower. But this is where we kind of find our stocks. And what we're looking for is stocks that we call tradable. Stocks that have good spreads, good volume. Like you can see the spread's pretty big right here. A lot of ones, so it's not really something we like. This one, deep price levels, 40%, 54 million shares. This is something in our wheelhouse that we'll consider. This one is not in our wheelhouse. You can see it's a big spread right there. So I'm just trying to find something with a little bit better of a spread that that if you're wrong, you can get out of it. So this is one stock that we traded today, VIAV, and here's our trading floor. Let me just show you. And this is our chat room. By the way, you're all welcome to join our trading floor. And if you want to, you could just send me an email, and I'll be happy to get you access to it. It's been I started this room 35 years ago, but if you look over here, all the way up here, we've been trading this stock early this morning. These are all our instructors. These are all our traders, and is Rich. Just trying to see where. What stock is this one? This is Chipotle we traded. That was another pretty good one. FMC was another one that we traded. That was a good one I called out. You can see we're calling out. This is at level 3. Just trying to find the one I had up there earlier. We do a lot of audio commentary. There we are, right there. Sorry about that. See that right there at 9:44 VIAV. So we found this stock that early in the morning, and if you look at now where it's at, that was at 9:40, which was right around here. So you could see the stock's at $16, ran to 17. Now I want to bring up the book on this stock right here and show you what I saw. I'm going to zoom out here a little bit. So 9:30 this morning, program trading kicks in. Here's that big buy right here at 1520. When I saw that, you could see the stock went up. And here was the sellers out here hovering right around 17. Order got filled. It did what we call a shake. New order showed up there right after around 11, 12. He's out there. Had a very tough time breaking it. Then once we got past 1 o'clock, 1:45, that big seller got done. Now it went up. Now we're dealing with another. Is that a seller? Yeah, it's a seller. There's a seller right here. So you can see how once we took that big buyer, that big seller out there, and that the thing took off and it ran from $17 all the way up to $17.40. Now, if you do the math, 1,000 shares on 40 cents is $400. the end of the year, that comes out to be a nice little $100,000 salary right there. But that was one really nice call that we had. And what's nice about the stock, it is trading at the highs of the day. So we are going to keep an eye on it. VIAV. But that's how we kind of work out these stocks. We look for stocks that have very good spreads. You could see the colors are very thick here. It's got very big tier sizes. So you always want to make sure you get in and out of it. And then obviously with the volatility being up 23%, you know, it's not no 300%. This just opened up right now. But the difference is some stocks are a lot more volatile than others. Remember, just because it looks good doesn't mean you can get it. All right. And when you can, just because you think you got a good runner doesn't mean you're going to get out of it. So it's very, very important you check that out. Another stock that we had that was moving up pretty nicely, I want to bring up Chipotle, because Chipotle had earnings. So Chipotle, you could see here, 2 days, here's the order out there, went from $40, stock got destroyed, came all the way down to a price around $31. And then from 31, when we saw it, you could see at that time at around 9:30, then right around 11 o'clock, it ran all the way to 33, almost $34 a share. Okay, just right above it. Now, why did it stop here and started going up from 31 to 32? Right here. Here's Chipotle on Bookmap. And you could see that this was when the market opened up right there. You see the order showed up program trading. He was at 31 for 53,000. And as that color got darker, that means he added more to it. If you always want to know how much it was, you could always just zoom in. And you could see early this morning, it was like 48,000. 41,000. See how the number goes down? And as it gets darker, now it's 53,000. So that buyer showed up. This program trading kicked in at 30. You could see how he had a stack of orders showing up right here. And you can see the stock is moving in dollar intervals. So kind of hit the support levels around here at 32 with 69,000. He's still out there. Then a new buyer showed up, bid it up, held the stock right there at 31, 32, shot up all the way to 44. So the red lines is the sell or the buy orders. Okay, so that's a great question because someone I did a free event just before this and people asked me the same time. So the lines are orders. Okay, so the stock right now is trading at 32.90. So anything below it are buyers, anything above it is sellers. That's what they are. So that's how the line is just showing you the thickness of the amount of shares. The darker the red, the more shares they are. The lighter the color, the less shares there are. Like if you look over here, there's a resistance levels here at 35. It's more yellow, not orange, only 24,000. Okay, Egwin, does that make sense? So you're going to get lines on both sides, just like on the video. See this right here? Stock right now is trading here at 2203. You got the big buyers here at 200. You got the big sellers out here at 210, 212, 215. That's exactly right. So those colors are what make support and resistance. Now think about this for a second. How does stocks go up and down in the stock market? Buyers and sellers, right? It's not Mr. Fibonacci. It's not a MACD. It's not all that. See, I'm a day trader. I live here in Wall Street. I was trained by some of the best traders in the world. You know what? I can't compete with them, so I want to join them. I'm not trading 280,000 shares. If I know somebody wants to get out of it, I don't want to be in it. Now, back in the day, the only way you knew that is you had to pay to have a seat on the floor. There is no floor now, everything's electronic. So now you could see where they are. So you're looking what we call here, it's called the right of the chart. This is the right. And then you have the chart that's on the left that's showing you support and resistance. So it looks like the stock wants to go down to the end of the red lines. Well, being a good trader, you want to be patient. So if you were looking at the stock and you were like, okay, the stock's going down, you know that you're going to be coming up to some big buyers, which technically in theory, that's why you want to buy it. And then if the stock's going up and you see these red lines, that's pretty much where you kind of want to get out of it because there's a big order out there to sell. So you always want to know where you are, where the orders are. It's not knowing where you are in the chart. It's you knowing where you are with the orders. Can you backtest on Bookmap? In what way would you backtest? I mean, there's nothing really to backtest other than you see the real data. That's basically what it is. So remember, this is not an indicator. It's a software. Okay. Now, we use also here at Cyber Trading University, you could also use this. Let me bring this up. Hold on. Where am I? You can use NASDAQ Book Viewer, but you're just seeing the data. You're not seeing the orders. That's the big difference. Just trying to find it for you. And so you're not getting the full, here we go, here's one. I'm just showing you, we showed this not trading. Like here's Palantir. 200, there was 183,000 shares. Now this is just the NASDAQ. See, what's nice about Bookmap, you're getting more orders. So this is just NASDAQ book. That's why we call it level 3. If I bring Palantir up here, I just got to get the data, and I have to go back a little bit further in history. You see the order right there? 200 and you can see the difference.